So recently YouTube recommended a video to me that was the catalyst for this video. It was a video from a British content creator called Ziva. I don't know if it's meant to be pronounced Ziva or Siva, but anyway, it was a video about feminine voice control. Now I didn't click on the video because I don't watch bullcrap, okay, but basically it was a video about how you can change your voice. Okay, so instead of talking like this, which is how I normally talk, I would be talking like this, like talking like, you know, really softening my voice, kind of talking like a baby, you know, in order for my voice to sound like, I guess, more girly, more feminine, more like a baby. Okay, and I guess she is what I call a femininity coach, you know, similar to Shira 71 content. And I think that these women are the original, okay, the real ass pick-me's, because baby, why would you change your entire talking voice in order for a man to pick you, in order for him to choose you? Being a bad bitch would mean showing up at the day talking the way you actually talk and still have him choose you. Because why would you have to change everything about yourself in order for a man to pick you? And how long are you planning on doing that? Like, how long are you planning on faking it? Like, how long are you planning on not using your actual voice? Like, are you never going to use your actual speaking voice ever again? Like, if you actually marry that man, like, are you to cease completely speaking with your own actual voice, like the voice you were born with? Like, can you see how this doesn't even make an inkling of sense? Like, I've heard Shira 71 talk a lot before about how women were only to wear certain colors and only to wear certain nail polish because they are feminine and dainty. And you know, there's nothing wrong with wearing, you know, only pink nail polish and red nail polish. And I'm happening to have red nail polish right now, but you know, I'm somebody who likes my nails ratchet. Like Shira would say, you know, I would paint my nails yellow and green and orange, and I don't give a tiny rat behind. And you know, that has never stopped any man from providing for me whatever I want him to provide for me. So whatever, but there's nothing wrong with that. In and of itself, there's nothing wrong with, you know, you painting your nails pink or red, a French perhaps, and only wearing pink or white and beige, if that is actually in your personality. Okay, if that is actually whom you are, then there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you have to do that, or feel as if you have to do that in order to get a man to provide a couple of dollars for you, then I feel like the price to pay is too expensive. Okay, if you have to actually lose yourself for a couple of $1,000s, then in my opinion, it's not worth it. Okay, that is actually pick-me behavior, because they are mocking women who go in half with men. And listen, I don't think in a patriarchal society that women should go half. I certainly will never go half with any man, but still they are mocking those women for going half. But they are changing their entire personalities, like whom they are, in order to be picked. Like, what's the difference? In my opinion, they're even the bigger pick-me's, because at least the women who are paying half were still paying when they were single. You know, when they were living alone, they paid for the rent, they paid for the apartment. So they didn't have to change much. Like, they maybe they're paying even less, you know, because now they're paying half, where before they were paying 100%. So maybe they're even saving money, right? But then they're changing everything about themselves, or recommending we change everything about ourselves in order to be chosen by a man. Like, that's not even worth it. Like, I remember Shira recommending lying about what you do for a living. So being a doctor and saying you're a receptionist, it's all cute and dandy, but let's just say you do it. Okay, let's just follow, let's do this for the plot. So you are a doctor, you meet a man and you tell him that you're a receptionist, okay, at a hospital, for example, right? And then you get engaged to this man, and then you marry this man. What are you gonna do with your scrubs? You finna hide them, girl? You finna hide them at the house? Like, do you see how this doesn't even make an inkling of sense? Like, ladies, please, for the love of God, this is too much. And you know, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I've heard Shira say a lot more problematic things than this. Okay, I've heard her say that women should condone cheating in the name of being provided for. Now that, what in the low self-esteem hell? What do you mean? mean? Why condone cheating because a man is providing for you? Like, I've heard her say, if your man cheat on you, don't leave. Just make sure you negotiate that he buys you a car instead. Say what, ma'am? Excuse you? I beg your finest pardon? Like, do you know how dangerous that advice is? Like, what if he gives you HIV? Okay, let's say you marry this man who is providing a upper middle class life. Let's say he makes 350,000, so you feel it's worth it, so you stay with him and he buys you, let's say he even buys you a Bentley truck. Now, no man who makes 350,000 can buy you a Bentley truck because it's a very, very expensive car. It's a $200,000 car, but you know, it's my dream car, so I'm still gonna use it as an example. Okay, let's say that this man buy you that fine vehicle that a Bentley truck is, and then you stay with him, and then he keeps cheating on you, and he cheats on you without using any protection with the women that he cheats on you with, and then he gives you HIV. Like, what vehicle in the world is worth being HIV positive? What vehicle in the world is worth you having to take medication every single day for the rest of your life? What vehicle in the world is worth it? No vehicle in the world is worth it. No amount of money is worth it. No amount of jewelry is worth it. Nothing in the world is worth that. Like, again, what in the low self-esteem hell? Like, what type of advice is that? And that is still not the worst thing I've heard her say, you guys. I used to watch her at 10, 12, 13 years ago. Okay, like, I know you guys, a lot of you guys just discovered her recently, you know, in the last 2 years or so, but I've been watching her back in the days. I don't watch her no more, but back in the days I used to watch her live. They were short, like it was an hour, it was concise. It wasn't the Shira that y'all know today, okay? And to be fair to her, she doesn't say this no more, okay? So even she realized that this was problematic, because nowadays I see that when women tell her, you know, from the clips that I see on TikTok, that I really can't get there physically with him, I'm really disgusted by him, like I'm really not physically attracted to him, she says, then just don't do it, okay? He, you know, just dangle the carrot, like, men are still going to provide for you even if you don't sleep with them, if they feel like you're going to do it, which isn't true for most men, okay? In my opinion and experience, isn't true for most men. Most men are not going to continue providing for you if you don't get physical with them. Some men will do, most won't. I feel like 70% of men won't do that, okay? I mean, men won't even keep in touch with you nowadays if you don't sleep with them. I mean, men who are not even providing nothing for you, okay? I mean, men who just took you on 3 dates feel like they're entitled to your body, okay? Talk less of talk less of men who are actually giving you thousands of dollars. So most men won't do that, first of all, in my opinion. But that's the new, you know, thing that she says now, because Shira is a very intelligent woman. Like, you can say whatever you want about her, she's very, very smart, okay? Like, I mean, she listed even her channel under comedy, so that, you know, she cannot be legally liable for anything she says on her channel. She can just say it was a joke, not actual advice, which it actually is, okay? But back in the days, and you know, I won't bother going and looking for that live, but if you go back to her live again from 10, 12, 13 years ago, I believe it was a live where she was showing us she purchased a bag from Longchamp. I believe it's in that live, and I think she's wearing pink in the live, if I'm not mistaken, pink and white, whatever. Anyways, in that video, someone asked her, I really can't get there, you know, physically with him, like I'm really not attracted to him. As a matter of fact, I'm disgusted by him. And she says in a joking tone, do you like tequila? Now let's just, you know, think about this a bit. Let's just pause. She doesn't see how smart she is. She doesn't actually say, or drink a lot of tequila, get drunk and sleep with him, okay? Because she knows that is a problematic thing to say, okay? Even 10, 12, 30 years ago, she knew that, okay? But she says, see how she says, do you like tequila? Okay, she's suggesting that you ingest a ginormous amount of tequila, a ridiculous amount of it, because, you know, you need to have, or enough at least to be drunk in order to be able to get yourself there. Now, that is incredibly problematic advice. Very, very extremely problematic, because the aftermath of that could be devastating, given the fact that most women who watch Shira are very, very young. Like, her audience is very, very young. I would say it's women in their early 20s. Some of them are even college students, so 19, 20, and telling them that could be potentially very, very dangerous. You know, some of them could get PTSD as the aftermath of that. Like, to a lot of them, that, to a lot of people, human beings in general, the aftermath of that would be lived as RAPE, okay? Because even though they did it to themselves by ingesting that ridiculous amount of alcohol in order to get there, still I feel like the aftermath of something like that would be very similar to, you know, the aftermath of RAPE. So PTSD perhaps is to be expected here, and you know, this could lead to depression, anxiety, you know, a lot of other problems, addiction, you know, everything that we know that can come with PTSD. Like, there are some women, you guys, in the world who can deal with being intimate with someone that they are not physically attracted to. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I'm actually one of those women, you know, but that is oftentimes, more time than not, that amount of dissociation is the aftermath of extreme molestation in childhood. Okay, most women who can stand being physical with someone they don't actually like or are not actually physically attracted to are people 9 out of 10 times who have been extremely molested in childhood. Okay, but if you are just a regular schmegular degular, just a normal, you know, sweet kind girl who is going to college or whatever, don't do that. You know, that's not going to be good for you. You're going to end up, in best case scenario, in therapy, and that is in best case scenario. So I tell you girls this all the time, be discerning with the advice you take online, because yeah, taking advice from people online can be dangerous. Okay, it can ruin your life if it's, you know, irresponsible advice. Some of the advice out here is outright dangerous, period, and that's from Miranda Lamb, and I would down that hill. Again, to me, all these femininity coaches, Shira 7 and them are the real pick-me's, okay, in my personal opinion. Because baby, what do you mean changing my entire personality, everything that I am, laughing to jokes I don't find funny, acting dumb just so a man can provide for me? Absolutely not. No ma'am. I don't think so. Because listen baby, I've never had to play dumb a day in my life, and I've been provided for in ways most women never will, or most people never will. So yeah, it's a no for me. It's solid and strong no. I don't plan on doing that. As a matter of fact, most men that I've been in relationship with acknowledge that I was so much smarter than they would ever be, and still it wasn't a problem. You know, they still provided for me what I wanted. So ladies, if he wanted to, he would. If he want to, he will. Okay, I want you to understand this, is that you don't have to change anything about yourself for a man to do for you. And I'm saying this because, you know, this video is not for Shira. She doesn't care. You know, one thing about Shira, she really does have, you know, thick skin. Okay, Shira is not one of those content creators like Ostefko who can't take people talking about her. Like, she doesn't give an F. Okay, she doesn't give a tiny rat behind. Like, she's not out here watching videos people are making about her. Like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't care. You know what I mean? So I don't expect her to watch this or give an answer to this or whatever. I'm nobody to her anyways. But this video is not for her. It's for you if you are somebody who watches her and, you know, who goes by her or hang by her every word. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to do anything for a man to like you, okay? The men who like you will like you. They just will, okay? Like, some men will just inherently see your worth. As a matter of fact, this is true for people in general. There are people out here in this world who will just inherently see you as valuable, who will deem you as worthy just because, okay? Just because you are. The same way there are people in the world who just won't. And there is absolutely nothing you can do to convince the people who don't inherently see you as valuable to see you as such. The same way there's very little you can do. I mean, I'm not saying that people will go for everything and abuse and stuff, but generally, you know, if someone really like you, whatever you do, they're still going to like you. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, except stuff like abuse and co, right? So you don't have to paint your nails a certain way, do your hair a certain way, just have to keep it straight or not lock it, and, you know, talk a certain way for a man to like you. Like, if a man sees you and he's physically attracted to you and he sees you as valuable, he deems you as worthy, he's going to invest into you. And if he doesn't, he won't, okay? And nothing you do, no amount of feminine voice control is going to change that, okay? No amount of pink and beige and white outfit is going to change that. No amount of wearing your hair straight is going to change that, okay? Nothing will, because if he just don't view you or deem you as valuable, if he doesn't want to invest in you, he just won't, okay? And there is absolutely nothing you can do about that. And that's from Miranda Lamb, okay? So remember that. But yeah, in closing, I believe that, you know, those women are the real ass, okay, pick-me's out here. And, you know, something else that I wanted to add before I wrap it up, even though most of you won't like this, is that most women are paying half. Okay, and again, I say this as someone who's never paid half and who will never pay half, but still, Statistically, most women are contributing. Even if they're not contributing half, they're contributing 30%. They're contributing something, baby, because most men cannot afford to provide for a family of 3, talk less of a family of 4. Most people make 55K, and you can't provide for 3 people on 55K. It's just not feasible, you guys. Like, there's only, I believe, 10% of people in America who make over 100K. Remove the gay men, remove the married men, remove the men who want kids. If you don't want kids, remove the men who don't want kids. If you want kids, how much are there left? You know, the truth of the matter is most women are never going to be provided for. Most women are going to have to work. Most women are going to have to pay half. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to have to say this, but unfortunately, it is the truth, okay? I regret it. I wish it wasn't this way, but it is, unfortunately. It's going to be that way for most people. So yeah, chances are you're not going to marry a millionaire. And no, it's not because you're ugly. It's not because you hate or have a face only a mother could love. It's because you don't socialize with rich people, with people who make 100K, with people who make 350K. You don't know where they are. You don't hang out around them. Like, you're not in their socio-economical class, so you're not in their vicinity. And yeah, it's just not going to happen. Chances are, you know. So yeah, you guys, those are my thoughts. This was a real ass negative video, but whatever. If you like it nonetheless, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. In the comment section down below, let me know, do you think that Shira and Dam are the original pick-me's? Do not forget to subscribe to my channel as well if you don't mind the real. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Mwah.